Whether there was a video and this is how you teach the dog to find the heel position or find something that's an accurate move, what I'm just seeing is dogs fidgeting around on the spot trying to find the click.
Welcome to Learning About Dogs, a podcast for people who love learning about dogs. I'm Sue McGuire, along with Kay Laurence. As with most professions, dog people have been known to spend a fair amount of income on conferences, seminars, continuing education. That is where we hear some new concepts or old concepts packaged as new concepts. Sometimes it's a term we have never heard before and decide, that one needs a bit more review and thought before applying it or not using it at all. Kay says one she heard recently really threw her. Click fishing. Click fishing.
Oh, okay. Click fishing. Well,
can I make a guess at what it is?
Yes.
Can I? Okay.
Yes.
It's
go
when...
click. Guess.
Okay. It's when the learner is trying to get the handler to click.
Yeah. And what does it look like? What does it look like?
If it's a border collie, they're staring at your clicker hand. Click that damn thing.
Yeah, no, it's a bit more proactive than that. So the one I remember being the experiencer of it was I was asked to hold my arm out completely straight from my shoulder. So you start with your hand on your belly button and then you move it up and out and hopefully find straight. Yep. Now, the person standing in front of me, they have something like a windowsill behind, so they can actually see if your arm is parallel with the windowsill. So you start with your hand on your belly button, you swing your arm out, and then you have to doodle your arm up and down until you find the click. Yep. So what starts to happen is this arm is going up and down. Oh, then you find the click. Good. But the actual sequence of movement that you're learning is the action of your muscles starts to lift your arm. And then you start to hesitate and move around a bit, and then you find what's right. And I'm like, what is this? Oh, well, we just want you to offer behavior. And I'm like, I'm not offering behavior. I have no clue what you want me to do. And she said, well, we need you to do this, that, and the other. I said, well, you can tell me that. What's the dog supposed to do if you can't tell them? Oh, I said, why didn't you just put a target there that I can touch? Oh, yeah, that's quite a good idea. So that would mean then the muscle pattern is straight across in front of you, and out goes your arm, touches the right object, which means your arm is parallel, and then your muscles learn that pattern without any middle sort of up and downy movement where you're fishing around trying to find the click. And I think the same I've seen in teaching dogs heeling. So the hands are in the right spot, the dog is coming to the right spot-ish, but they're not quite in the right spot, so they start jigging on the spot trying to find the click. And to me, it looked like a little dance around. And I thought, oh, that dog's fishing for the click. Yeah, and eventually they get it. But they don't know what they've done to find the right spot. So then the dog is learning, sort of come to position and start to fidget. And you'll see this again when they start to do something like a sit to heel or present with a dumbbell. If they're not in the right spot and the response is silent, they will start to fidget, presuming they have to fish around to find the click. And we want silence to be right, not silence to be fish around, see what you can make yourself do. So click fishing.
Where's this coming from? Where's it coming from?
Well, you tell me. I don't know. I've never taught it. I don't think it can ever be, I suppose the original no contact, I have no way of teaching the animal what to do, so it's supposed to just work it out. And if you just leave it to sort it out, you just end up with this, especially with border collies, highly agitated behavior where you don't know what the hell you're doing. But it also makes the pattern of what you're doing, a sequence of behaviors you don't want. You don't want the dog to arrive in the sit and then go, ooh, how about this, how about this, how about this, until they get a result, because it's just the wrong information, quite the wrong information.
What are the proclaimed advantages of click fishing?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to somebody who does it. Well, I suppose, the dog's got to teach themselves what to do. But that's of no use under these conditions. That's why I say guidance is not a dirty word. Guiding the dog to be able to find the straight or the spot that you want without any fishing is surely what we're looking for. Surely that's what we're looking for. So if I'm asking the youngster to come into a heel position and she is too far forward, I would take my hand and lure her backwards so she gets the right position. So straight away she gets information that she's in the wrong spot because my hand has moved to move her back, and she learns how to move backwards to the correct spot. And because I'm luring her, there's no fishing. I end up luring her to exactly where I want her. So next time, after 2 or 3, you can see she starts to self-correct straight into the correct spot. Good girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, this whole, we're waiting for the dog to offer the behavior. Well, yeah, no, not for me. No, I just think it starts to get extremist to the point where I mustn't show the dog what to do because that means they won't teach themselves how to do it. And that's just ridiculous. So to me, it's putting far more stress on the dog.
Gosh, it sounds like a throwback. It sounds like the days of back when we first started clicker training, of the whole, 101 things with a box mentality.
Yeah, but the people I've seen doing it are well-experienced trainers. Just whether there was a video and this is how you teach the dog to find the heel position or find something that's an accurate move, what I'm just seeing is dogs fidgeting around on the spot trying to find the click. So no, we can do better than that. This has to die. 20 years ago, this should have died, but obviously it's still being regenerated, still going on.
Don't you find that sometimes is the case in what we do, is that enough time has passed by that people think that they've invented something that was discarded years ago?
Yeah,
sort of like
they just read
high-waisted jeans.
They just read the original material, and the original material is still sitting out there for anybody to pick up. Doesn't mean it was the best we could do, but how would you? Yeah, I was well surprised when I saw it that it was still being taught as well.
And you have been seeing this presented at some conferences fairly recently?
No, this was a group. One was a group of students in an academic situation, and they were being told that was their project to work out how to. One had to get the person to bend over and try and find it, which seemed a lot of hard work. And the other one was the arm move, and I'm like, goodness me, you're making this far much harder work than it needs to be. Oh, well, it has to be operant. Okay, at what price? At what price? And the other one I said was obviously somewhere along the line there was some healing going on, that this is how you teach the dog the healing position.
And what are the worries that the dog is becoming too dependent on guidance?
We hear these words, well, I don't like to lure because then if the dog's being lured, it won't know what it's doing. Well, there's no evidence for that. I mean, I certainly think luring is to a degree. You can lure what I call on full contact, where the dog is nibbling food in your fingers as you move them. And I would think under those conditions, the dog is probably completely oblivious to what you're doing, which could be a good emergency protocol. If you've got to walk a dog past something you don't want them to see, stuff the food in their mouth, hold tight, and just let them nibble and suck as you go. Well, then, yeah, I should think you can get them past nearly anything under those conditions. But if you're trying to teach the dog to do healing like that, then yes, I think you're probably on a hiding to nothing. Well, luring under those conditions, you want the lure at least 6 to 8 inches away from the dog's face so that they can start to be aware of what to pick as cues and targets around the lure. Yes, it's not about, guidance is not a dirty word. Free shaping and dogs being fully operant and showing themselves what to do is hard work, very hard work. And if you're not an exquisitely skilled shaper with an exquisitely determined dog, then I don't think it's the task for everybody. I would say luring first, operant conditioning second.
So let's give click fishing another label.
Oh, no, I love it.
Yeah, let's give
click
it another
fishing.
label.
Well, no, because what they're doing is like dropping the bait in and out the water, and it's jigging it up and down and getting nothing at all until, there's a bite. Not that I fish either. But yes, fishing around trying to find the click. It comes under the term offering. Offering is very often just resurgence. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, and I've seen it done where you want the dog to do sit, stand, down, and all the rest of it at a distance. And the dog's in the stand, and you give it the sit, and then you're just silent. So the dog starts paddling with their front feet because they're not sure whether they should try something else or whether they should stay in the sit. So it's this whole misinformation that silence can mean so many different things. You need to be perfectly clear that silence means you are correct, because if you are not correct, I will help you under these conditions. So that if I'm asking a dog to do something and I say nothing, that's confirmation they're on the right track.
Probably a bit of a rabbit hole, but let's talk about, maybe this is related, click fishing and silence. I mean, when you start out with your learners, you actually teach silence as something good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Because if you've got, if you're doing something and your dog is in the stand and you just ask for the down and they sat, what you see is the person starts doing what I call the pissy face. They purse their lips together as if like, yeah, and now the dog's going, oh, but that's not going to help anybody at all. Silence that's like, yeah, you got that wrong again, haven't you? Well, that's no help. I want feedback. What did you want instead? So at the point before you would have clicked that behavior, you need to change something. Either you start walking towards the dog, you show them how to do it again, and it's no punishment for the dog to just have assistance. Why would you want to be trying something and not get any feedback whatsoever? Do you know that where you hit a button on the keyboard on the computer and nothing happens? Oh, what have I done wrong? Where did it go? Yep, you get an answer straight away. The computer will say, nope, you can't do that. File not found. Screwed up on this one again, haven't you? You get an answer straight away. Oh, okay, that's what I did wrong. Well, the big thing is the error 405. Oh, what's an error 405? I've got to look that one up now. Or error 504, page not found. Oh, what does that mean? Because all these errors have different codes and they all mean something. But it comes back pretty much straight away. If it just goes silent on you, even to the point where I've had somebody use the online shop and press buy now, not a couple of times, not 3 times, 17 times because it didn't respond. 17 times they paid for the same transaction. Oops. Yeah, it could be slow. It's got to talk. It's got to go from here, and here is usually Edinburgh, all the way over to somewhere in America, and then all the way over to somewhere else, and then all the way back again. Then it's got to come back to Edinburgh and go, thank you very much. It could take a while. Whatever you do, never press more than once. Never press more than once. But, 17 times she was click fishing.
Oh, boy.
Do you understand? Just trying to, because it was silent, nothing was happening. Just keep trying it. Just keep trying it. Just keep trying it. Just keep trying it again. Ooh.
Yeah. Which is so helpful when I've just been booking a bunch of plane tickets recently, and I love the little screen that comes up and says, "This will take a minute. Your patience is appreciated." And
yes, do not click again.
Do not click again, or else you're going to buy 4 plane tickets.
Yeah. Or you want something to see that's going round and round and round, so something's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe we should make our eyes go round and round and round and round when the dog's doing something, which says, yeah, I'm thinking about this. I might click or I might not, but at the moment I'm thinking about it. Oh, okay, says the dog. That's fine. Just think about it. Let me know what you come out with. But before I would have clicked, I need to get the dog out of worrying about whether they've done the right thing or the wrong thing. Yeah, so my dogs, and this came out of me working with people in the barn, and we were making a video of them doing some practice with their dogs. So I said, I'm going to switch the camera on. I want you to do 5 minutes by yourself, and I want you to do all the things you like to do. Because it's pretty much when we practice, we select the things we like to do as opposed to things we ought to be doing, the things that need a bit more attention. And the first girl came and sat down. We were just setting up for the second one, and they're all chatting around behind me. And then the second one went out, same sort of thing, chat. Said, well, you gave the wrong cue for this. And she said, well, Kay didn't say anything. And I said, well, Kay's standing next to the microphone with the camera, so Kay can't say anything here because it's a hell of a job to take out sound out of a video when you want the original sound to be in. Oh, well, because you didn't say anything, I thought I was right. Yeah, and then you realise that I've probably done the same with the dogs. If I see them, if I'm asking them to go from the stand to the down, and I see them starting to collect themselves for the sit, which is not the same action, I would be interrupting that behaviour and go, hey, let's try again. Yep, before they've actually made the mistake. So they would get information pretty darn quickly they were on the wrong track. So if I said left and they start to go right, I would stop them making that mistake. So they end up then with the confidence that if I say nothing, oh, great, got it right.
Oh, I see how you do it. Okay.
Yeah, because if I was wrong, she would have told me.
Right.
You understand? So the girls were carrying on doing what they were doing. They had no sense that they were doing anything wrong because I was there and I said nothing.
Okay. That makes thorough sense. Yep, absolutely. Didn't have to fish around for that worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the silence of disapproval. It's a killer. Absolutely killer.
Oh. Irish fathers. Oh, they perfect that. Oof. Okay.
Yes. I mean, you can give feedback. Good, that's nice, but that's not for life. When I'm working my dogs or, whatever job I'm doing with them, I'm not going to be able to give continual feedback. So I need my continual feedback that you are correct to be silence. And even in competition environments, whatever they do, I would never say to them, you're wrong. Yes, under those conditions, if I'm silent, whatever I'm seeing is what I've trained them to do. That's what they're going to do. Yep. And if I then need to come away from that and 2 or 3 days later start to look at what they did do, they're just purely a product of their training. They can't be wrong under those conditions.
Purely.
Because you want them to be confident.
Yes. And great information, too. If you're observant enough, go back. Need to work on that.
Yeah.
Dog is so thoroughly honest.
Yeah. So competitions are just evaluation processes. If you're under a test and you don't get it right, well, then we need to go back and see, well, what we've missed out on. What do we need more practice at?
Yeah. What needs more study?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Click fishing. Okay. Well, we'll just kind of put that one. Wait a second. I'm going to make a noise. I'm going to take a piece of paper. Okay. And I'm going to toss it into the bin. There we go. We're good. Starting August 14th, Clean Training is being offered as an 8-lesson online course through learningaboutdogs.com. This course will examine the component skills that develop very clear communication between 2 different species, humans and dogs. This course will cover, among other topics, self-assessment, setting up optimal learning plans, reinforcement delivery patterns, cue technology, the process of teaching a target. Online classes are on Wednesdays, but students can access forums at any time throughout the course. Sign up at Learning About Dogs.